Who exactly is afraid of Verydarkman? Because Nigerians are demanding answers as EFCC faces outrage over the mysterious detention of Verydarkman since Friday last week. And even as I made this video now, being Tuesday evening, the only thing we've heard so far, after these 4 or 5 days, is that Verydarkman has been granted what they called administrative bail, which usually is subject to Verydarkman meeting the terms of the bail condition. So as at the time I'm making this video, I'm not aware, to the best of my knowledge, I'm not aware that they have perfected the bail conditions for Verydarkman to leave the EFCC premises. Okay? And that is why I'm asking, who is afraid of Verydarkman? And why was he kept away for those numbers of days before he was granted administrative bail today? Okay, so for me, in the land where silence speaks louder than justice, I think there will always be a problem, big problem, because Nigerians, I want to say, a lot of Nigerians right now are very angry, and questions are rising. And one man, I repeat, one man, VDM, is at the center of it all, because he was arrested since on Friday, he was detained, and he has been silenced. Yet no one is saying why. Even as at today, Nigeria, are we watching justice, unfolding before our very eyes, or some sort of tyranny? I want to know. I want to know in the comment section. For what began like a tale from a Nollywood thriller on that Friday, it is beginning to turn from thriller to something becoming very bizarre, if you ask me. Martin Osei, popularly known as Verydarkman, a fierce critic, social media activist, and self-styled voice of the people, as you all know, was picked up by men of EFCC since last week Friday, like I said. And since that time, the streets have been murmuring. The internet has been shaking. But again, what followed that arrest, if you ask me, was like a mystery wrapped in EFCC silence. Day one passed. There was no charge. Day two, still nothing happened. By day four, the silence was deafening, and Nigerians, as usual, began to ask questions. And one of the biggest questions, coming out from the aggregate voices of Nigerians was, what exactly is Verydarkman's offense? And I'm asking once again, what is VDM's offense? So according to the second official statement from his legal counsel, Barrister Deji Adeyanju, not even his lawyers had received a formal allegation, no petition, no documented offense. Can you imagine? Now what for this our country? As at 4 days, 5 days, no formal allegation, no petition, no documented offense, just endless interrogations centered around his social media posts, his opinion on gospel artists, and allegedly handling naira notes in a club. If na clout be the crime, then make everybody prepare for handcuff, because I don't know. Because looking at what the interrogation has been centered on, number one being social media posts, most of the posts he makes on social media. Then his opinion on gospel artists. When you say gospel artists, that definitely has to be this lady, I forgot her name now. Then allegedly handling of naira note in a club. So if the questions that they've been asking him, the question is centered around these three things, what it means is that, like I'm saying, if na clout be the crime, then it means EFCC has a lot of people, to put on handcuff from the look of things, because I don't think these three things that the interrogation is centered on right now is enough to warrant the way and manner he was taken away in a Gestapo style. And the fact that not a word was said till 4 or 5 days, and they are telling us these are the interrogations that he's going through. So does those sort of interrogations, now the issues, do they warrant the way and manner he was picked up. 4 days, exactly 4 days, no charge, no clarity. Yet EFCC held on to him like a man being punished for speaking too much truth in a land that fears truth itself. Nigerians, we don't like when the truth is spoken. I think it's offense now from the interrogation so far listed by his law firm. What it means now is that for speaking too loud about truth is not being a subject, for scrutiny and for punishment, if you want to ask. But you don't abandon leprosy to treat ringworm, because for me, we have Nigerians has bigger problem, especially for EFCC to contend with. So why would a federal agency sidestep financial crimes? You see, there are a lot of people who have been accused of corruptly enriching themselves to the tunes of billions, I say billions. These are monies that these people are supposed to use to, create better life for their citizens, for their state people. A lot of governors have been mentioned, a lot of top government officials have been mentioned, and what we see is just like it's a charade. I'll put it that way. The way they've gone about handling some of these issues has been very much like a charade. I'm not aware that any of them has been picked up in this Gestapo style of recent, at least to the best of my knowledge. So if we leave all that, we leave those who are the big criminals, the big thieves amongst us, if we leave them, those who have contributed to ruin this country, if we leave them, and we begin to go after hashtags and posts and people who are trying to cash cruise on the social media, then what are we descending to, for God's sake? Is Nigeria's justice system now triggered by hashtags and TikTok lives? I really want to know. The constitution is clear anyway. No individual shall be detained beyond 24 hours without a formal charge. That is the grand norm of this country. 24 hours without formal charge. So what exactly happened here in VDM's case? Has the FCC become a political tool deployed when someone steps on powerful toes? Or are we seeing a dangerous pattern of using power to silence dissent? The statement from VDM's lawyer, Barrister Adeyanju's office, suggests EFCC's questions were based on public opinion, not financial crime. The law firm even referenced the Supreme Court's decision on Iwonbike versus Federal Government of Nigeria, which makes it unconstitutional to detain a person without a formal documented charge. Even from our own layman understanding of the Constitution, this is a fact. You cannot do that. Yet, EFCC claimed after days of outrage that VDM has now been granted administrative bail. Can you imagine this? But Nigerians are not buying the delay. They are asking, why now? Why speak only after citizens began to demand answers? When we speak the truth, let's watch the reaction of the oppressors. Let's watch the reason or the reaction of the oppressors, I say. On social media, the gbasgbos intensified. Activists, influencers, and ordinary Nigerians called out what they now describe as an arrest first, think later approach. What I mean is, they just picked this guy up. They had no charge against him. They picked him up first. Then while he's with him, they started trying to manufacture charges against him. And even as I speak, there's still no clear charge against him. Very sadly. But what an approach, if you ask me. The optics are terrible. The questions are many. But the answers, they are as scarce as fuel during subsidy chaos. You got me right there, right? No answers from EFCC on all these lacunas. The EFCC is no stranger to controversy though, but this case has opened a floodgate of fears. Who decides who get picked next? Will silence become the price for speaking truth to power? Are we back to the dark days when fear was the tool of the state? As one ex now Twitter user put it, today it is VDM, tomorrow it could be you or me. It's so sad, very, very sad, very, very sad. I must tell you, I'm not happy, not necessarily because because it is VDM, but because they said the facts of the situation will always speak for itself. What has this man done to deserve this situation? Like I said, it is VDM today, but tomorrow it could be you or even me. Because in a nation yearning for justice, we cannot build trust on the shaky foundation of secrecy and selective prosecution. I've said this in many fora before. We cannot do that. If Verydarkman is guilty, let the courts decide, not whispers in a closed room. After all, we have courts. Charge him to court already and allow the courts to do their job. That's how it should be. That's how it should be, if you ask me. Nigeria must choose if we indeed want law or lawlessness in our society. Do we want law and order, or we want lawlessness in our society? Because at the end of the day, when the law sleeps, the people are waking. And when the people are waking, no one, not even power, can silence their cry for justice. And I believe that is where we are right now. I don't want to make this story too long, but I just want to make an appeal to everyone concerned that they need to do what they need to do very fast and free Verydarkman. Like I said, if there's anything he has done wrong, the proper thing should be done. He should be charged appropriately. That is how it should be. Nothing more than that. So this is a call to EFCC and to all concerned in this matter that time is not on anyone's side. They need to release Verydarkman. And like I said, if they are charging him to court, let them do that already. And let the will of the law takes its full course. That's how it should be. So this is where I'm going to leave this story for now. And I'm hoping that his lawyers will be able to perfect his bail release as soon as possible. Thank you very much for listening to this video up to this time. And for those of you who have been who have loved this story, please kindly go to the comment section and leave your views. Where hopefully I'm going to meet you. Thank you very much, and I'll be back soon. Bye bye.